Hey folks. Alright, so my favorite type of damage to surf is Sentry fire. It's very consistent, regular, comes from a location I'm aware of, so it's just easier to control the surf, and you go fast. So you can do some cool ones like that. It's pretty disorienting for your opponents. But yeah, rockets and pipes work too. It's just a little less dramatic. There, I just did a little prediction, a little visualization for the scout stab. And here I'm going to force this pyro to air blast me, so I can get this neat little surf stab here. It's good to condition opponents to know that you can trick stab because they treat you with a little more respect. It's good for getaways, and with pyros it's good for just making sure they don't flame you and air blast you instead, which doesn't damage you and provide surf stabs. Whoops. Now there's a good example of how it's actually kind of harder to stab some newer opponents than experienced opponents on certain occasions. For trick stabs, you're largely relying on prediction, and someone that doesn't know what they're doing is hard to predict. Or to know what they're doing if they don't know themselves. I'm including this clip mostly because I like that little pixel ladder, but I also like that stab there. But yeah, that pixel ladder and upward is very useful. That shed that you'd otherwise be going through is kind of a death trap, so it's a good way to avoid getting stuck in there. Alright, so notice I'm not going to sap this teleporter right away. I'm going to go for the entry stab instead. And now I'm going to camp the teleporter instead of sapping it. Go ahead and you know, sap the dispenser, although I might have wanted to hold off on sapping that just if they didn't know what I was up to. As you'll see here, I think the NG is catching on to what I'm doing. That's okay, we're not done utilizing him. We get a little more ammo first. And although I prefer to stab that soldier, the sniper is what we're going to have to take. I'm just going to hop at the moment of the wrench to surf to that step that spy's back. Yeah, should have charged that duo immediately with that big earner charge. I don't think I was aware that I was so low on health right away. The Thane wasn't useful, so I ended up dying there when I probably could have made it out. I think this pyro hears me decloak, so I'm going to go ahead and jump predictively. Yeah, nail the jump stab. Not going to respect these medics very much because they're running needle gun. I don't judge people very much based on their hats, but I do judge people based on their loadouts. And when I say judge people, I mean like assess their skill level and modulate my aggression based on that. I'm always more aggressive with players that I deem less dangerous, and with players that have earned my respect, I give them a little more grace with the decloaks, and the stabs I'll go for. Now here we're going to do a little waiting and visualization just to set that stab up. And here we're just going to go straight for it because there's not enough time to really do any waiting at all. I noticed that the players are low on health, so I'm going to decloak aggressively and go for the gun kill on that demo, but Matic steps in and saves the day, and we're just going to have to settle for a trick stab on the other demo. Now they've got a nest in that tunnel back there, so a great way to get to access that nest is not by going through the tunnel, which is very narrow and hard to navigate, but by taking the teleporter instead. Now, it's always a judgment call whether or not to go for a telefrag. In this case, I'm going to go for it because I'm confident that even if I don't get the telefrag, I can still survive with my overheal from the kunai and get to a really opportune location even if the telefrag doesn't work out. Which, yeah, gets me a couple stabs there. This NG is moving very carefully, and I'm low on health, so I'm going to be a little more careful myself, not charge him and get a wrench to the face and keep this life going. Plenty of noise here, so gonna decloak aggressively on that spy. This jump's very useful from the little pallet onto the by the grate here. And yeah, you don't have to take the teleporter to get in there. You can also actually like take the gate as long as someone's there to open it for you. Now, here I've got to say I could have stabbed the soldier quite easily, but you know what? Sometimes you gotta just go for style points. There we go. Thanks for joining me, everybody. I'll catch you next time. Peace and love.